What's going on, gang? Welcome to another episode of Gag with Geeks. You've read the title. Today's episode, we are going to talk about real reasons why people just do not want to work anymore.
Get your fucking ass up and work. It seems like nobody wants to work these days.
Now, I think the number one reason that nobody wants to work anymore is because these jobs just don't pay enough. One of my friends, he just sent me a job description. He sent me a screenshot of a job, and they required a bachelor's degree and about 5 years of experience, and they were only paying $19 an hour. People are just realizing you can make more than $19 an hour just doing gig work. And I think, people are realizing that they are not about to slave at these jobs for such low compensation. I can't say that I blame people for not wanting to work, although I do have a really good job and I'm very appreciative of my job that I have. But I do get why people just don't want to work anymore. And I know a lot of people are quitting jobs because of the gig economy. We live in a gig economy where you can do so many other things besides work a traditional 9 to 5. Like, for example, I took an Uber the other day, and my Uber driver, she told me that she had been driving Uber. She had started driving a few months ago, and she quit her other job to drive Uber full time because she makes way more money doing Uber than she did at her traditional 9 to 5. I know a lot of people that have quit their jobs to do gig work because I live in a city where gig work is very prevalent and you can really make a lot of money doing gig work where I'll stay at. Like, I know a guy that told me he made over $4,000 a week by doing Instacart. And of course, with my Uber driver saying she drove Uber and she makes way more money. And so I know a few people that do Uber, the DoorDash, Uber Eats, people are making way more money by doing gig work than they are doing a 9 to 5 because these 9 to 5s, they just don't pay enough. I think another reason people don't want to work anymore is because these jobs just treat you like a number. They really don't care about you. It doesn't seem like they value a lot of their employees. And they just treat you like a number. You come here, if you don't do what we want you to do, we're going to lay you off without even giving you a warning. And we're just going to replace you. You're just a number to them. And that segues into another point. These days, there is no job security with the traditional 9 to 5 job. It's no job security. People just don't have hope anymore. We see it all over the news. There are mass layoffs happening all over the country from people that worked high earning jobs, especially like in the tech field and different things like that. And they're just getting laid off. So people have lost hope with, if I can go to work one day and it's fine, then the next day I show up and I'm just laid off. People are completely being blindsided by being laid off when they got bills to pay and the families to take care of. People just lost hope with the traditional 9 to 5 and, so they just don't care anymore. And, I can't really blame them. And it's easy for most people to speak from a place of privilege and to say, oh, you're too late. They're lazy. You're lazy if you don't work. No, it's not lazy if you don't want to work. It's what am I getting in return? There's no return on investment for all my hard labor in such little compensation. So I really understand why people don't want to work. Another reason why I think people don't want to work is because the interview process. I feel like sometimes on these job interviews, they really play in your face. I've been on job interviews where I felt like the interview was going amazing. I went in there, I looked my best, I did my best. They really gas you up as if you're going to get the job, like they're going to offer the job to you, and they don't. I know several people who have went on several interviews. They go on 3-4 interviews just to not be offered the job. So again, that goes back to people losing hope. When your back is against the wall, you still got bills to pay. You got to do what you got to do. Another reason I think people don't want to work is because when you really work hard and give it your all at your traditional 9 to 5, all they do is reward you with more work. For a lot of people, they feel like, why should I go be a great employee when there's people that's not doing as much as I'm doing and not working as hard as me, and they may get rewarded before me, or we're all just not getting rewarded at all. So when you go above and beyond at work, a lot of times they just reward you with more work. And it's like, no, you need to reward me with a salary increase. Award me with some compensation. Where's my money? So I get that. And these jobs, they like to do things for like morale booster and y'all been doing a great job. We're going to have a pizza party for y'all. Baby, we tired of pizza. I can buy my own pizza. We don't want no pizza. We want pay increases. At least give me some time off. Time off rewards and pay increase rewards. That's what we want. It's just crazy that the cost of living is increasing and pay is either staying stagnant or the pay for a lot of jobs are decreasing. For a lot of these jobs, it's just a slap in the face with what they are trying to pay people. Then they want to require you to have master's degrees and PhDs. I saw one job listing that required 5 years experience and a doctorate degree, and they were only paying $50,000 a year. That is a slap in the face to somebody that worked hard all the way up to a doctorate level, and you want to pay them $55,000 a year. That is a slap in the face. So people just losing hope. People are being more creative with how they get money. Like I said, they're doing the gig economy, and they're just creating their own ways to get money because these jobs are not getting you anywhere. Another reason I think people don't want to work anymore is because they're just realizing life is too short and there's more to life to do than work hard and bust your tail at a job just to get nothing out of it. A lot of these jobs, they want to take up so much of your time. Some jobs that I've had in the past, they did mandatory overtime. Like, how are you going to force me to work overtime? And then it's like you go and you work overtime just for them to heavily tax your earnings that you got during overtime. And it's like you really don't have nothing to show for your overtime. People are just realizing life is short and they got better things to do. They rather spend time with family. If the pandemic didn't teach people anything else, it taught them that life is short and they don't have to spend the rest of their life slaving at a job. They rather go do something else more productive with their time, create their own ways of getting money, and do the gig economy versus, at least with the gig economy, that gives people a sense of freedom because you can wake up when you want to, you can go work when you want to, you can take a break when you want to, and you can go back out and work when you want to. So for a lot of people, it's a morale booster for them, not feeling like they're being micromanaged, by their supervisors or some higher leadership at a job that they already hate. So they go and do the gig economy for a sense of freedom. Another reason I feel like people don't want to work anymore is because they just need time to themselves. That goes back to what I was just saying. Life is short. I feel like in the United States, working a 9-to-5 is put before your own life. And what I mean by that is people, if they have very important doctor's appointments they need to go to, they have to schedule everything around work. Some people even miss doctor's appointments that they really needed to go to because they had to go to work. And I've heard some of my friends say they told their bosses that they had these very important doctor's appointments to go to. And the boss basically said, they don't care. You need to be to work. You could find time to do that on your time, but you need to be to work. No, I need you here on this day. You can't go to that doctor's appointment. And that's just crazy to me. Health as well. That job will come later. Yes, we need money to survive out here, but you got to take care of yourself first. And I think more and more people just realizing that, and it's like, no, we're not going to work. A lot of people feel like if they are going to struggle anyway, what's the point in working? Just do some gig work when you can so you can support yourself and pay your bills. Nobody wants to go to a job, stress over that job just to make little money to barely be able to afford their livelihood and support themselves and feed their families. Everybody just opting out. And then you have some of these jobs where you see help wanted signs all over the place. Everybody seems to be hiring. And some people in my family have said, all these jobs that had the now hiring signs and help wanted and things like that, they call them, they do interviews, and it's nothing. So it's like, why do you have these help wanted signs and these now hiring signs up when you're really not hiring? You're just wasting folks' time. So people just like, forget it. All right, gang, I appreciate y'all tuning into another episode of Gag with Geach. I will see you all on the next video. Later.